and welcome to Retire Right TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, and I'm joined today by Paul Roberts. Paul is President and CEO of Roberts Wealth Management. Paul, it's so good to see you again. How are you today?
Having fun in the studio with you today, Cynthia. Right?
Absolutely. I love our shows because it's just amazing the information that you're giving to the viewing audience. We've talked about this before, but the questions that are coming in, the viewer response, your appointments with your all-star advisors have been just skyrocketing as well.
Yeah. There's a high demand for what we do, and I think people are wising up. People want that individualized advice. They want that individualized planning, and they want to know that they matter and that they're a person and not just a number.
Yeah.
And so business in our world is booming.
When you think about it, Paul, I mean, you've worked your whole life at a job, and you have a paycheck coming in, and that's such a huge part of your life. Not only the paycheck coming in, but just the family that's developed in a corporation, if you will. You reach the retirement age, and you want to have someone that takes the time to listen to what your needs are, because it's a transitional period. No matter how you look at it, it's emotional going from the workforce
very emotional
into retirement, and you need to know what you want to do, and you help people with all phases of that.
That's right. And well, you know, that's one advantage that people coming to see us have, is that our all-star advisors are very well trained in understanding not just the needs and how to be a good advisor and help the clients, but understanding what it's like to be in their shoes.
Yeah.
It's scary. It's you're unsure of things. You know, it's anxiety feeling. I've got all these questions. It's overwhelming. I'm not sure if I can do this, you know?
Sure.
And so that's one of the fun is to watch the process with my advisors when people come in to see us, because when they come in and, you know, their body language is telling you one thing. They're wearing their suit and they're nervous and they're guarded and closed off, and then they sit down, they start just having a nice casual conversation with our advisors, and they start talking to them about their needs, their concerns, their goals, their family, some things that they notice, and then next thing you know, over about a 10, 15, 20-minute period in that process, you watch people just loosen up. All this weight comes off of their shoulders, they relax, then they start opening up, then they start feeling good. Oh, all right, great. I've got somebody who is actually concerned with me and my family and our individual situation. I don't feel like a number here. I feel like they want to really help me hone in on my individual situation and create things that'll work for me and my family.
Yep.
And it's amazing to watch that process, you know. What's really amazing is, you know, we've talked about it on the show before, Cynthia, is when we give people the strut, as we refer to it.
I love that.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun in our office. Advisors, man, it's like high five time around the office when we have somebody who comes in to get the strut. And what the strut is we tell them, there's a lot of people come to see us because they're means testing. They're not sure. They're ready to retire, but they don't know if they can, if they have the means, if they'll run out of money. So we do what we call means testing through income planning, right? What does your Social Security or pension look like? How much income can we create? This is what retirement could look like for you. And then, boy, I tell you what, when they realize they have the means to actually retire and retire with confidence, by the time they walk out of that second, third meeting where we're going through strategy and we put it all together for them, man, now you talk about body language really shift from the first meeting when they came in to the third. They are walking high on a kite when they walk out of there that last meeting, and they've got the strut. And the strut is they walk back into work Monday morning and they've got their chest out a little more. You know, they got a little strut to them. And what that strut is I don't have to be here today. I choose to be here today, so be nice to me, because I might just leave.
Exactly.
But it's so much fun to empower people and give them that ability, you know, and to be a part of that process, to watch people go from this point of really insecure and unsure and scared of things to just strutting right back into work, you know, and to watch that transition that people go through and that roller coaster of emotions that they go through.
Sure.
It's so fun, and it's truly valuable and amazing. We love it. All the advisors are giving high fives in the office when we send somebody out with the strut. You know?
Oh, absolutely. Paul, I have to ask you, what are some really cool bucket list ideas that you've heard recently from retirees? Are people just traveling more? Is anybody climbing a mountain? Anybody paragliding?
They are, and you know, and I think what we're going to find is I think after this recent COVID pandemic and crisis and all of this going on, I think that's going to increase more, wouldn't you say?
I do. I think people are really starting to get out there like, this is what I want to do. I'm just going to do it and take the chance and live once.
Yeah, I've been looking at some really wild statistics lately. Boat sales are
Through
up
the
like
roof.
700%
Yeah.
since the COVID outbreak. Airplane sales are way up. Second homes and vacation homes are way up. So what that tells me is I think a lot of people have been locked up at home getting cabin fever, and they're having a conversation with their loved one. They're going, you know what, honey? We only live once.
Yeah.
Let's go do these things we've wanted to do.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be a lot more inspiration, a lot of people, challenging their bucket list items.
I do too.
But we have a lot of fun with our clients in the office, because what blows people's mind when they first come and sit down with one of our advisors and start going through the process is they expect the entire conversation to be about stocks, bonds, or mutual funds or something of that nature. And when we start asking them about their bucket list and about the things that they plan to do and about their travel and their hobbies and the fun they want to do, the whole conversation switches. That's when people really let down, and you really get to bond and get to know them. But we've had some really incredible ones. I've got some, a lot of, a very common one is a lot of people want to see Alaska and cruises and European cruises, things of that nature. I've got a few of them though who their life goal is they want to go Antarctica. They want to step foot on Antarctica.
Yeah.
Which is truly amazing.
That is amazing.
But the one that's really blown me away, I've got two clients, and at our last Christmas party, the two of them were sitting at the table together, and I guess they've become best buds now, because they got to have conversations and bond and realize that they both want the same thing.
Yeah.
But both of them want to be. They said it doesn't matter. Nothing else matters more. They want to travel to space, at least before their lifetime is up.
To space?
To space.
To
So
space.
They're following all the Elon Musk space programs. They're watching by daily.
That's
This rocket
incredible.
had this test, and we're this close to going. And
That's not what I thought you were going to say.
yeah, no, that's their life goal, is to travel space. And I think that's incredible. And I can't wait. I hope that they do get to and get to share the story with us, and that'll just
It would be kind of fun to float for a little bit, right?
We're just cruising in the far beyond. And
That is so cool. That is amazing. Well, I think what I love hearing the most is that life begins again at retirement. It's not the end. It's not where things stop. It's where things are beginning again.
It's
for
just a
people.
transition into a new life.
Yeah, and you're able to say, you know what, peace of mind is right here. We have a true comprehensive
That's right.
retirement plan. It's in place to work with you. Go do what you want to do. Go have fun.
If you build that holistic, comprehensive financial plan and retirement plan, then you have what money gives you. The whole purpose of money to me in this lifetime, and to what I've tried to raise my children understanding, is the purpose of money is freedom.
Yeah.
Right? That's the reason you need money, is for freedom.
Sure.
And financial freedom is the true goal of all Americans. We all dream of the day that we're financially free to live the life we want to live.
Sure.
Well, if you sit down and create a holistic, fundamental financial plan for retirement, and you've got all your P's and Q's and your I's dotted and your T's crossed in there,
Yeah.
you have that financial freedom.
Yeah.
Go enjoy life now. Don't sit around and worry about this. Go let's knock some items off that bucket list, right?
Absolutely.
Great. As we refer to it, we tell clients, we need to put some more chapters in the book. Okay. Now, we've got everything settled on our end. It's up to you to go start the new chapters, right? Go put some adventures down.
Absolutely. Well, Paul, I can't think of a better time for us to open up the phone lines than right now. Do you want me to tell the viewers what they can expect to receive by calling in?
Great.
Okay, perfect. To the viewing audience at home, the number to call is 228-388-2031. Paul is offering a complimentary consultation. This way you can come into the office, sit with him, talk about what your retirement goals and plans are. If you already have a plan in place, let him take a second look, or one of his all-star advisors. This is complimentary at no cost to you, available to the next 15 callers only. The number to call once again is 228-388-2031. When we come back after this very short commercial break, we're going to have more questions and answers from Paul about planning your perfect retirement. Please stay tuned.
How confident are you in your current financial plan? Do you know with certainty how the recent market volatility will affect your future hopes and dreams? How much are you paying in taxes? And how much are you losing to unnecessary high fees? You didn't work to save this money so that you could spend your time worried in retirement. Now is the time to take charge of your finances so you can feel confident about your future. Call in during the next 30 minutes of today's show only to set up an absolutely complimentary, no obligation, full-blown financial review that will result in your own customized written plan. This is a $999 value that we're giving away complimentary to the first 10 people who respond. We'll start with a full-blown analysis of what you already have. By running a report to untangle how much you are currently paying in fees, how you're allocated for risk, and what it's costing to work with your current advisor. Next, we'll identify your goals. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Where do you want to go, and who do you hope to go there with? Is your current financial plan set up to get you there without mishap? Let's design a roadmap to create a financial plan you can follow with confidence. Get the piece that so many people are missing from their retirement. Find out how having a written plan can make a difference to your retirement dreams. Call now to schedule your complimentary, no obligation, full-blown financial review today.
And welcome back to Retire Right TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio. I'm joined today by Paul Roberts, of course. He's president and CEO of Roberts Wealth Management. Paul, a great first segment of the show. I love hearing about bucket list ideas. It's so interesting to see what people are doing in their retirement years, because we've talked about in the past that people aren't just sitting on the front porch anymore, knitting or having tea. I mean, which is, I love that myself, but people are doing more now. They're not just sitting, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, you know, that's the truly enjoyable part of our job.
Yeah.
We're a bit of tax and numbers nerds at our office, so we enjoy the case design and the planning and helping figure out, you know, solve people's problems and create solutions for their situations, and all of that part is fun. But what's really truly fun is when you take somebody from that stage, as we were speaking of earlier, completely uncertain and unsure of everything, and then you put them into a place where they're financially free and they're so certain and they're having so much fun and they can go out and enjoy their life. Then when they come back in, and as we're continually meeting, you know, we meet all of our clients several times a year for progress reports, updates, and reviews. But it's after, what we find is after someone's been with us a few years, they have so much confidence in what they're doing, they have so much confidence in us, that our meetings and our reviews is really just us having fun, chatting.
Yeah,
we're catching up. They're telling me about the stories, you know, they took the grandkids to Yosemite and, you know, this and that. And so I hear some of the most truly amazing stories from my clients. And actually, that's one of my favorite parts about the job is they're inspiring. Like, you know, my wife and I have been inspired to do a lot of things. We had some clients, we had a big group of them, about 10 different clients had formed a group, and they all went to Machu Picchu in Peru, together.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, my wife and I, we put that one on the bucket list. And it's not just a bucket list. We have our bucket list and we have our 5-year list.
Okay.
The 5-year list is, these are the things we're not waiting until we kick the bucket to get done. We're doing them in the next 5 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And so Machu Picchu has gotten added to our 5-year list, and we're going to go climb those mountains, and
I love it.
it's be a lot of fun. Yeah.
For me, I'm going to have Montana on my 5-year list. I've always wanted just to go to Montana, just have the wide open space, the mountains, the greenery. Cannot go wrong with that. I love wide open spaces.
I definitely want to see Montana.
Yeah.
I hear it's so beautiful up there.
Absolutely. Well, we're not on a travel show. We're talking about all these destinations.
It takes comprehensive financial planning
I love it.
to be able to travel and enjoy life, right?
Absolutely.
So
Paul, I want to ask you the difference of tactical asset management versus passive. Can you explain what that is to the viewing audience?
yes, it's one is very active,
okay,
and one is passive. So in other words, passive, it means you're just kind of holding. It's what the old buy and hold portfolio ideology is, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna hold certain assets. We're gonna diversify across certain asset class, and we're gonna just passively hold them. Meaning we're just gonna hold them through whatever cycles and through all cycles,
mm-hmm,
and over time it'll work itself out.
mm-hmm,
And that's one theory. And then they have active strategic management is a whole different theory. Now, active strategic management means, no, we're not just going to diversify and hold all these asset classes and over time it works out. We're going to be actively striving to strategically find out, how do we reallocate the portfolio? Which asset classes do we need to move heavier in and lighter to?
mm-hmm.
You know, instead of just spreading it across the board, which idealistically used to make sense. Well, if we're spread across the board, if this asset class is not performing well, this one is.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, that's right. Well, it's
Yeah.
offsetting itself. So that's why we love this active to strategic management we have today. Active strategic management's attitude is, well, then we should have less allocated to that bucket if it's not performing, and more allocated to the bucket that is performing,
Sure.
right? And it's not that they're not diversified across all asset classes. But what they're doing is they're weighting how much weight and how much blend or how much value they should put on each asset class as different economic indicators cycle through. You know, they may know, okay, now it's time to go heavier in this asset class, time to weight this one heavier. So it's constant strategic management. The beauty of it today is that we work with institutional asset managers, and we do that for a reason. A lot of clients ask me, so you don't manage the portfolios? No, I have 700 clients.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well,
there you go.
if you have 700 clients who have 30 positions in the market, when would I have time to analyze 21,000 positions and service and maintain my business and service and maintain my clients
Sure.
and have time for my family? So it's impossible.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people in the old financial world used to kind of lead people to believe that they were watching out for them and making the trades and doing different things. Personally, I don't have time for that, and I don't think any financial professional does.
Sure.
We turn it over to an institutional asset manager.
Yeah.
Do you know what their job is?
Just to do that.
That's it. All day,
Yeah,
every
all
day,
day.
they come in, their only focus is analyzing data, making decisions. Okay? They don't have to see clients, they don't have to wear multiple hats, they don't have to run
Yeah.
their business. All their job is to make those decisions every day. So
Yeah.
who would you prefer? That you have an advisor or a broker out there who may be somewhat savvy or decent about it? Or would you rather say, no, the best professionals we can find are doing this, and that's all they're committed to doing all day, every day for you?
Absolutely.
So then we can
Absolutely.
look them in the eye and say, no, someone's watching your money.
Yeah.
And we truly mean your eyes are on your money. We're watching it at all times, every day.
Absolutely.
And it gives clients a whole lot of peace of mind too. Right?
Oh, it
To know-
definitely does. Because again, like
Right.
you mentioned, obviously just being one person, it would be impossible to be in all these different areas at once. So you have just a system in place that works so well for your clients. And again, we've talked about this when the market changed so drastically in March of this year. Your clients had peace of mind because they were okay. They called you and they were like, you know, Paul, should I be nervous? And you said, everything looks good. Everything is fine.
And we came through this entire COVID crisis beautifully.
Yeah.
Okay? Well, first of all, most of my clients, because we heavily believe in structured income.
Sure.
Right? Your income has to come, and we have to know it's dependable and predictable and where it's coming from the rest of your life. So majority of them have structured income. And then the other money that we have in the markets are growth oriented. Most of my clients are a little more conservatively based and don't want to take that much risk with their nest egg.
Sure.
So we're very, very good at managing what we call drawdown potential of the portfolio. When markets go awry or go bad, what is the potential drawdown that you could see in your portfolio?
Okay.
When we came through this COVID crisis, our asset managers, you know, they switched gears, they repositioned the portfolio, they went
Yeah.
defensive when they needed to. We got out of Dodge, and we had minimal downside effect compared to majority of Americans out there, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And so we went through the entire COVID crisis. I had friends in other cities who work for other brokerage firms who were ready to quit and told me, I'm pulling my hair out, I'm ready to quit, I'm over it. How are you getting through this, Paul? And I said, well, we've only had 3 clients call.
Yeah.
And they were only a little bit nervous, and we walked them through what we're doing strategically and what they should expect. And we told them, if we exceed this side on the downside, if we lose greater than this amount, then you can call me freaking out. And guess what? I'll freak out with you,
Yeah.
and we'll do something about it, right?
Right.
But until then, if we have a plan in place and strategies are in place, until that strategy is broken or not working, you got to have the confidence in it.
Absolutely.
Most of them do. And we only, through the whole crisis, we had 3 phone calls, and those were all just because they were new clients who have come in the recent months. So they haven't been with us long enough to have the confidence through these downturns, but now they will next time.
Absolutely. Well, Paul, we're about ready to open up the phone lines for the second time this week.
Great.
Do you want to tell the viewing audience what they can expect to receive?
Yes. If you would like to sit down with one of our all-star advisors, see how we create value in your life, why do our clients love what we do and appreciate what we do for them? You know what, they love us, and there's a high probability that you'll love us too. Come sit down with one of my all-star advisors, have a conversation. Let's figure out how we reduce cost and fees and commissions for you. Let's figure out how we create more sustainability and security for you. And most importantly, let's figure out how we create an efficient tax situation. So give us a call. It's a nice, comfortable, warm conversation. 228-388-2031. All you should expect is a nice warm cup of coffee, a good cookie, calm conversation, and at the end of that meeting, we'll know if we can provide you with value or not. So give us a call today.
Best cookies in the state.
Best cookies in the state.
To our viewers at home, the phone lines are now open. That number to call once again is 228-388-2031. Again, the number is 228-388-2031. When we come back from this very short commercial break, we're going to have more questions and answers about planning your perfect stress-free retirement with Paul. Please stay tuned.
As a good saver, you've been putting away money during your working years. Studies find that the biggest fear of retirees is running out of money. Market volatility isn't just the downward movement of stock prices, it's the size and frequency of change. The more dramatic the ups and downs, the higher the volatility. This can put savers who are newly retired or a few years away from being retired at greater risk. Today's generation of retirees is not receiving traditional pensions as our parents or grandparents did. Instead, we have retirement accounts such as 401ks or 403bs. These accounts typically expose your money to market risk. The last thing you want right before retirement is to lose a portion of the money you need for income. But how do you turn these accounts into a retirement income? Is it safe to keep all your retirement money sitting in the stock market? The last thing you want is to lose a portion of the money you need for income due to market loss. By working with a financial professional, you can learn how to turn a portion of your savings into an income stream for life and income for the life of your spouse if you're married. We all have moments in our lives when we wish we had taken action sooner. Don't let procrastination reign on your retirement parade. Act now before it's too late. Please call our office to set up your no-cost, no-obligation retirement income review today.
And welcome back to Retire Right TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, and I'm joined today by Paul Roberts. Paul is President and CEO of Roberts Wealth Management. Paul, just another amazing show. And again, going to the viewing audience when the phone lines were open, it was amazing to see all the lights come on. I love that. So we have some great viewer questions all the time. One that we've been seeing a lot come in recently, there's a question that people have about a retirement income gap and what can cause a gap in retirement, if you will. Can you explain that to the viewing audience?
That's, first of all, just income planning is a good step in the right direction, because we find that too many people out there are severely lacking any type of income planning.
Okay.
And they've got a portfolio and they're taking withdrawals to supplement their income, but they don't have a plan in place of how much income, how sustainable is it, how long is it going to last, what are you going to do about market volatility and downturns or drawdown. There's so many other factors included in really developing a true income plan for folks. However, when we sit down and start having a conversation of income planning with them, what we talk to them about is, first we got to address income gaps that may occur in your financial life or your retirement, right? Income gap number one is going to be, first of all, just what do you need to keep your standard of living? Right? I've got so much coming in from Social Security or my spouse's Social Security, maybe I have some pension or rental income or something, but I need this much, right? And there's no right or wrong here. And this is where we get into that, you know, people ask, well, how much money do I need to save for retirement? I don't know. How much income do you need? Right? What do you need to keep your standard of living? So that's income gap number one, is what is our shortfall? How are we going to make up that shortfall? We're going to have to lean to our savings and our assets to supplement our income. Well, how are we going to make sure that that first income gap is sustainable and predictable and we can depend on it the rest of our life? Right? Then we have to start projecting and looking forward down the road. What are some other future income gaps that we may incur? Next, we look at spousal survivorship for married couples, right? What happens if you lose one Social Security benefit in the household? Are you going to have a significant loss of income to the house? That could be thousands of dollars a month. What do we do about that? Are you going to lose a pension benefit with the loss of one loved one? Are there any other sources of income that may be lost if one spouse passes away? We need to project forward and look at that and figure out what those are and make sure that we put some plans in place to secure those. Right? Then income gap number three, the last one we look at, is how are we going to offset inflation going forward? You know, we've
Good one.
Yeah, we've discussed Social Security a lot, right? We know
Inflation, absolutely something that needs to be factored in.
Yeah, and it's Social Security. We know that they're not going to give us the COLAs that we need. You know, the cost of living adjustment is not
Yeah.
going to keep up with inflation going forward. So every single retiree out there today will eventually have an income gap in their lifetime because as they keep moving forward and Social Security's fixed income doesn't keep up with inflation, they're going to slowly but surely see their purchasing power dwindle over time.
Of course.
You know, when do you want to put some plans in place for that?
Yeah,
Now
now.
or wait. And so that's why it all just starts at income planning. You
Yeah.
know, that's the basis for everything. If you don't have income, you don't have a plan for income, you don't have a retirement plan.
Yeah.
You know, and that's unfortunately what a lot of people are lacking today. But they come in, sit down with Carter. He's a master income planner. So all he does all day, every day, is help people figure out how to secure their income the rest of their life and how to do it as tax efficient as possible. Okay? So it's not a very difficult thing to challenge. It just takes a little bit of time and effort on the retiree's part. You know, they've got to, first of all, encourage them to look at different financial firms, get some second opinions.
Sure.
Then they need to just come sit down and have a conversation. Have a conversation with some other financial firms besides ours before you
Sure.
come in to see us, okay?
Make sure it's a good fit.
Make sure we're a good fit. Make sure, you know, you've shopped around and you know what everybody does and what they offer and how they can add value to your life. And I think a lot of people, when they come to sit down with us, by the time they've been through other financial firms, they'll realize how much value we actually add to our client's life and how fundamental and holistic the whole planning process is, and that we don't leave anything out. You've got all your ducks in a row by the
Yeah.
time we finish this process, you know. So.
Because you really take the time to listen, and I can't stress that point enough, because so often in life, even sometimes when you go to the doctor, they're rushing into the next room to see the next patient. People love people that can give them quality time, and you do that so well. All of your all-star advisors, I hear that all the time from people, that they appreciate the time that's spent.
They do, and they appreciate the sincerity. You know, when you say what you mean, people know it.
Yeah, absolutely. That genuine heart comes through.
That's right.
Paul, we have less than a minute left of the show. Can you tell the viewing audience once again what they can receive by calling in?
Yes. So everyone out there should always get a second opinion. If it was your health was your concern, you would get a second opinion. Your retirement should not be treated any different. So those of you who have not had a second opinion in a while, if you're unsure or you think that there may be some things to be added, you need to give us a call. Come sit down with one of our all-star advisors. Let's give you a second opinion on your current situation. If everything looks good, we'll tell you you look great. If there are red flags, they'll come up in that process and we'll figure out what we need to do strategically to change your situation. Give us a call today at 228-388-2031. We look forward to sitting down with you.
Thank you, Paul. To our viewers at home, thank you so much for watching. Be safe, be happy, be blessed, and we will see you next week.